Good day, everyone. Welcome to UM080 Philippine Popular Culture. This is your instructor, Sir Neil Pantone, and for today, we will be having Lesson 5 Popular Culture as Seen in Various Media. But before that, I would like to share to you our objectives for this lesson. First is to analyze how each media form constructs, frames, and disseminates popular culture messages. Number two, examine the economic, social, and technological factors that shape the production and distribution of popular culture. And lastly, reflect on personal media consumption habits and articulate their cultural significance. So I hope that we will be meet all of these objectives at the end of our lesson. So let's get started. First is we have to know what are the sources or what are the sources of popular culture. So we both know that popular culture is based from all of the things that we are now encountering in our social media platforms and our um, Facebook, Instagram, all of those applications, no? But uh, ano ba talaga ang sources ng popular culture? So we have two sources of popular culture. One is the mass media, and number two is we have leisure or experience. Now, in mass media, we will be dividing it into two subgroups. We have the new media and the traditional media. Again, sa mass media, we have new media and traditional media. Now, let us discuss new media and traditional media. Check out these examples here. In new media, we have the TikTok dance challenges, Instagram Reels filters, Spotify playlists, Netflix originals, I Want TFC releases, Twitch gaming streams, K-pop concerts on V Live. Now, in traditional media, we have TV news, teleseries, radio segments and audio dramas, movies, fiction and non-fiction books, magazines, and billboards. So these are the examples of each of the media. Ngayon, what are the comparison of these two? Now, in new media, we are having or we are showing interaction. Okay, we are interacting with the producer, with the content creator, with the audiences, right? We are sharing, we are commenting on in all of those media products, videos, images, or ano pa mang klase ng media yon, no? Marami tayong pwedeng gawin. Pwede tayong mag-comment, pwede nating i-share sa mga kasama natin, sa mga relatives natin, no? Pwede nating pag-usapan, pwede nating bigyan ng review kaagad, no? That's the new media, no? When we say new media, we have interaction, interactive, collaborative, and very very communicative type of media. Now, in traditional media, one way lang sila. Kumbaga, kung ano lang yung media nila, kung anong klaseng media sila, yun lang yung way nila kung paano, yun lang yung way kung paano i-consume ng mga users natin. For example, television news. You're just watching it on your television, right? You are just watching it. You are just hearing those sounds. You're just seeing those anchors discuss the news, the updates, and everything, no? Ganun din sa teleseries, no? Mapapanood mo, makakaramdam ka ng feeling na masaya, malungkot, no? Pero wala kang interaction. Wala kang interaction with the creator. Wala kang interaction with the audience, unlike the new media. Okay, so that's the difference between the two. New media, interactive type of media, while traditional media is just a one-way type of media. Now, ano naman ang kanilang similarities? No, ang kanilang similarity ay they can both reach millions. Okay, so in traditional media, it's been obvious that before our generation, no, ginagamit na ang traditional media. Kahit na wala pa yung new media, nakakalap or napapakalat yung mga information, yung mga entertainment, no? Napapa-updates ang mga tao dahil sa traditional media. New media, on the other hand, marami nang nabuhay sa new media at marami pang mabubuhay sa new media gamit ito. Okay? So they can both reach millions. Now, let's proceed naman sa leisure and experience. So, sa leisure students, when we say leisure, these are the things that we love or that we like to do when we have our free time. No? Kung ano yung hobbies mo, kung ano yung mga talagang nagpapasaya sa'yo. No? For example, watching your favorite shows, movies, no? Scrolling through Spotify, rap, and sharing top songs, gaming marathons of various mobile or online games such as Call of Duty, uh, PUBG, Wild Rift, Mobile Legends, Honor of Kings, Marvel Rivals, any kinds of online games or interactive games, no? Playing instruments, no? Playing instruments, reading comic books or reading other books other than comics, no? Meron tayong mga non-fiction and fiction books, no? Minsan naman studies ang mga gusto nating basahin, no? So yun yung ating leisure. Now, in experience, we are doing this sometimes on our own or with someone in a public place or in a public setting. For example, joining festivals. Anong festival pa yan? Ati-atihan, Mascara Festival, basta festivals, okay? Attending OPM band concerts, no? Maraming tao, masaya kayo lagi. Masaya kayong nakikijam sa OPM bands, dance performances, playing in a tournament, winning and receiving awards, and of course, your personal celebration. Okay? So when you share clips or posts from these events, you turn private moments into public phenomena. Hindi lang experience, pwede na leisure. Kunyari, hobby mo, tapos ginawa mong live stream, no? Magiging public phenomena na siya. Alright? Now, let's move on to the cultural studies and power. Sabi ni West and Turner, 2010, no, the media represent ideologies of the dominant class in society because the media are controlled by corporations, or let's just say the elite. The information presented to the public is consequently influenced and targeted with profit in mind. So the media's influence and the role of power must be taken into consideration when interpreting a culture. So West and Turner pinpoints that the media often carry ideologies of the elite. So, meron ng, ano to, yung ating media is meron ng halong ideologies ng mga corporations or ng mga elites or ng mga social class or yung mga bastang mayayaman. Okay? So, corporations fund shows, ads, and viral campaigns to maximize profit. So, ganun yung parang sinabi nila Wes and Turner or yung kanilang point na hindi lang bastang pang-entertainment, hindi lang bastang pang-informative ang pop culture, but there's a factor na sumasama ang elite dito or na manipulate ng mga elite. For example, product placement. Yung mga product placement sa mga napapanood nating media. For example, Coke cans in K-drama scenes, Jollibee cameo in Tikoy commercials, Vivo phone in the Filipino BL series. So these are the examples of product placement, and you can uh, see it or you can no you will not notice it no sa unang mong tingin or sa unang mong panonood ng mga series or movie, no, hindi mo mapapansin kasi parang feeling mo normal, you're feeling it normal and you think that it's very realistic type of movie, but at the same time, yeah, yun yung gusto ng director pero merong push din ng elites mismo. So isa yun sa mga examples na. Sabi naman ni F.R. Lewis, culture is not simply a leisure activity. So, hindi lang siya bastang leisure daw. Cultures controlled by capitalists are potentially manipulative. So, yung culture daw na kinokontrol ng mga kapitalista ay can be manipulative. Okay? He points out that capitalist controlled culture can manipulate taste. For example, fast food marketing targeting kids with limited edition toys or influencer sponsorships you didn't know were ads. So it's very common, no? Lalo na sa mga fast food restaurants na alam natin na medyo mainstream dito sa Philippines, Jollibee, McDo, Chowking, or any other establishments pa, no? They are using trends, they are using what's hype, no, para mag-gauge nila yung tao na bumili sa products nila, no? And of course, meron din tayong influencers. Influencers, content creators, ambassadors, vloggers, no? Yung mga yon, yung mga individuals na yon, no, they are also giving factors, no, sa pagbibigay ng mga advertisements ng mga elites. So, yun. So the question is, are we freely choosing this content or are we nudged by hidden agendas? Okay, so we can say that we are freely choosing this content. For example, sa FYP mo or sa newsfeed mo sa Facebook, no, you are freely choosing your content. For example, gusto mong panoorin tong specific type of content, like you are watching dance contents, no, or singing contents, or cartoons, no. Pagka napatagal ka doon sa panonood na yon, yung algorithm ng Facebook or ng TikTok is biglang mag-spark. At ang kasunod nun sa mga next scrolling mo sa mga susunod na araw na gagamit ka ng mga social media platforms, no? Um ipapakita doon yung mga interest mo na, yung mga gusto mong panoorin. And doon nagwo-work yung pag-choose natin ng content. Now, we can say as well that we are being nudged by hidden agendas because there are some products, or there's some AI type thing na minsan hindi mo naman sinasabi or hindi mo naman sinesearch through online, pero bigla mong nasabi verbally sa no. For example, nasabi mo na parang gusto kong maghanap ng shorts, no, and then hindi mo alam na may nakikinig sa na AI or any other online applications na merong parang system na nakakadinig. Tapos, automatic nalalabas na yun sa'yo. So, uh, in some ways, no, para tayong pinupush na din na bumili or para tayong pinupush na mapunta sa ganitong content. So, yeah, you can say that you can choose freely, or you can also say that we are being nudged by hidden agendas. Now, social media's role over time. So, there are lots of times that this is not really consistent answer, no, hindi natin alam kung positive ba siya or negative or both, no. So sabihin na lang natin na ang social media platform ngayon ay isang turbo engine, no. Social media platforms are pop culture's turbo engine. Wala namang there's no doubt with that, kasi social media platforms are things or the things or applications that we are using every day. We have Facebook, we have um, TikTok, we have Spotify, we have YouTube. All of these applications, all of these platforms, no, ginagamit natin siya. And of course, we are in digital era. So talagang may social media platforms ang ginagamit natin for interaction, for communication, no? Ang tanong, ano ba ang positive at negative dito? Let's just say we have the positive examples. For example, yung Ice Bucket Challenge natin. Ice Bucket Challenge raising ALS awareness, kung alam nyo to. Merong dating sakit, no, na nagkaroon ng awareness, and celebrities, icons, they are uh, doing this challenge to raise awareness nga dun sa ALS na disease. And then bring back our girls, spotlighting human rights issues. They began to make movement, no, because ito yung news na biglang kinidnap yung Nigerian girls. Okay. And then independent artists like Ben and Ben reaching global audiences because of social media platforms. All of our OPM bands and artists, no, nakikilala sila not locally but also globally. Isa yun sa mga positive examples na gamit ng ating social media platforms. And hindi lang yun, madami pa. Yun, advertisements nga, isa yun sa mga positive sides din. Advertisements, mabilis ang communication, mabilis ang pag labas-pasok ng mga balita, ng mga updates sa kung ano nangyayari sa mundo. Kaya yung mga tao na gumagamit ng social media platforms, hindi sila na out of place or na out of update. Okay? Now, dito naman tayo sa mga negative examples. We have the misinformation spreading on Facebook. It is very common, especially sa Facebook, no, and sa mga for example, Twitter, Facebook, lahat ng mga pwede kang mag-post, no? Ah, mga news, no, na minamanipulate ng mga so-called so-called icon, so-called celebrities, so-called tawag dito, mga influencers kuno na hindi talaga gumagamit ng factual information. Okay? Cancel culture, mobbing public figures without due process, which is uh, very common again here in the Philippines, and encourages audiences to do illegal things like online gambling. No? Isa pa to sa pinaka mabigat din na negative example ng paggamit ng social media platforms kasi dumarami ang mga conman, dumarami ang mga bogus, ang scammer, dumarami ang mga scammer, no? And by that, wala ring duda na marami rin ang mag-endorse ng mga ganitong klase ng illegal things like online gambling. So yeah, it can be a mix result. It can be positive, it can be negative, no? So yeah, it can be. It is both. Now we have to analyze media messages. Hindi lang tayo bastang nag absorb lang ng media, no? We are not just having fun, or uh, we're not just scrolling lang tayo, manonood lang tayo ng mga contents. No, hindi. We need to know what are the things that we should consider it, no, in terms of media messages. So there are three key factors when decoding a piece of media. First is yung source. This is the most important. Okay, so when we are considering the source of of a media, no, we are checking the validity that the validity, how it is reliable, or kailan to ginawa, sinong mga gumawa nito, kung reliable ba ang mga gumawa nito, kung gumamit ba sila ng mga factual information, something like that. So yeah, it is very important, lalo na sa mga news, lalo na sa mga updates, kasi minsan mapapansin mo may mga nagto-troll, may mga scam nag-scam or nag-spread ng mga fake news. And as a digital as a social media platform user, you should have to know, no, kung paano ma-determine yung mga ganong klase ng news, yung mga misinformation. Okay? Next is yung audience. Sino ba ang target audience natin? Mabata ba? Matanda ba? Para sa'yo ba to? For mid-30s ba to? For 40s? No? For LGBTQ members ba to? For this specific group ba to? For ethnic groups ba to? Ganon. Kasi hindi naman natin sure lahat ng contents or lahat ng media, no, ay para sa atin or para sa kaalaman natin. Minsan, yung iba is for professionals, no? Yung iba for all, no? So yeah, we need to also consider audience. And lastly, framing. We've discussed this last lesson, no, yung kung ano yung framing and how does it work in our popular culture. Okay, and then yeah, when we say framing, yun nga, hinahanap natin what's been highlighted or what's been being emphasized, no, in sa media. Ngayon, once na ma-determine mo yung mga na-emphasize or yung na-highlight na part ng isang media, you have the authority or you have the rights to search for the least highlighted parts, no? Yung mga hindi napapansin, yung mga hindi sinama, no? For example, when we are watching advertisements, food advertisements to be specific. For example, may sinabi na this burger is very big, this burger is very beefy, meatier, no? Lahat na ng adjectives sa in terms of food ginamit na, pero hindi nila sinabi na kapag kinain mo to, ganitong calorie ang makukuha mo or ganitong fats ang makukuha mo. So that's that's framing. We are also looking for those tawag dito, for those uh, information na hindi naman napapansin ng tao na dapat pa rin mapansin ng tao na yeah, it's for advertisement. Pero kapag syempre kailangan mong kumain ng maayos, 'di ba? Kailangan mong makontrol yung pagkain mo. Another example is yung news na sinasabing mataas yung crime rate ng specific na place na to. For example, mataas ang crime rate sa QC, mataas ang crime rate sa Manila, no? Pero hindi nila sinasabi kung ano ba yung root cause or kung saan ba talaga nagmumula yung mga crimes, no? It can be poverty, it can be corruption, it can be due to uneducated people, no? Actually, magkakaano yan eh, magkaka-connect yan. Once we say, for example, we say corruption, dahil mga corrupt yung mga namumuno, no? Magkakaroon ng poverty, no? At dahil poverty, hindi ka magkakaroon ng chance to have your education, or marami sa atin ang hindi kayang mag-aral. Okay? And by that, no, marami ang nagiging uneducated, and instead na makahanap sila ng maayos na trabaho, no, is ginagawa nila para sa mas mabilis na paraan, no, hahawak sila sa patalim. Okay? Kakapit sila sa patalim, no? Hold up sila or gagancho sila. So ganun ang work ng framing sa analyzing media messages. So again, we have three key factors that we have to consider. One is the source, two is audience, and lastly, framing. And that's the end of my discussion. And these are my references. If you want to look at them, I will also share it to BWL. No, if you have any concerns or questions, let me know. And yeah, that's it. That's wrap up to our lesson 5. No, popular culture as seen in various media. See you next time, mga Kayum 080. Stay curious, stay critical, and stay poppin'. Bye!